over Swarbrick. His defender hits the deck. Swarbrick jumps off the Hunsaker. Long three, got it. Top of the key, Ben Air will take the jumper from way out top and bury the long two.
It's basketball time in Utah Valley.
And welcome to the UCCU Center on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah, where tonight it's the semifinals of the Great West Conference Tournament, featuring the top-seeded Wolverines of Utah Valley taking on the number 4-seeded Coyotes of South Dakota. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. Doesn't get any better than this, Matt. Conference tournament time, and UVU's already in the semifinals.
Yeah, very exciting time. We've got two great teams ready to battle tonight. We've seen some great tournament action so far. Now, I expect a great game from both teams, as this is the tournament season and tournament time of the year.
Yeah, let's take a look to see how these two got here. UVU is the top seed, didn't even have to play last night. They got the bye, so this is their first game. Meanwhile,
yeah, going to be playing against South Dakota, who came off a very tough game last night, overtime, beating Chicago State 73-70. So as we see, we're going to have North Dakota awaiting the winner of this game. So the Wolverines are going to have to play well against the Coyotes tonight if they're going to be if they expect to be in that game tomorrow night.
Yeah, the two teams that UVU probably struggle with the most in the conference, South Dakota and North Dakota. So both of these games, if UVU wins tonight, are going to be pretty tough. Now, these two teams have played twice already. UVU lost to South Dakota at their place by 4. In fact, that was the only conference game UVU lost all season. Then South Dakota came here and UVU took care of them by 15. So they know each other pretty well. But what about key players to watch for tonight then?
Yeah, definitely. We're going to take a look at some key players. And when we're talking about South Dakota, we have to talk about Charlie Westbrook as well as Louis Krogman. They're going to be two guard players. It's going to be very important that the Wolverines focus and concentrate their defense on those two players if they're going to have success tonight.
And meanwhile, I'm just guessing I already know who the two key players you're going to pick for UVU are.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to always be focusing on Isiah Williams, the Great West Conference Player of the Year. He's got to be first and foremost. But we have seen a great improvement from Ben Aird as we've gone further along in the season, how well he has played and well he has come into his role. So those are going to be the most important players to watch for the Wolverines tonight.
This one should be fun. All right, Matt Peterson is renowned for his keys to victory for both teams. First of all, for South Dakota tonight.
Yeah, we got to take a look at what South Dakota is going to look to do, and it's coming down to stopping the two key players. They've got to do a nice job of stopping Isiah Williams and containing Ben Aird. Now, that's a tough task to ask for South Dakota. If they're going to win, they're going to have to take care of those two players.
Meanwhile, for UVU, you had rebounding up there.
Yeah, it's going to be important. The Wolverines play great at home when they can rebound the basketball, and I think that's going to be a very key. They've got to take care of the glass, and I think that when they do that, it bodes well for them in these home games.
And what was the other key? Stopping runs?
Yeah, they can't afford it. They can't give up any long runs from South Dakota.
Sure, yeah.
So they've got to play good, solid defense for long periods of time. They can't let runs of 8 points, 10 points, 12 points go.
Exactly. This one should be fun. More Costa Vida pregame show coming up. Starting lineups and your opening tip. Semifinals of the Great West Conference Tournament coming up next right here on UVU TV.
We welcome you to the UCCU Center, semifinals of the Great West Conference Tournament. Our TV viewers are back with us on this simulcast tonight, joining our radio listeners on K-Star. For our radio listeners, UVU will be shooting camera left, dressed in their solid whites, white jerseys, white trunks, trimmed in green and black. Meanwhile, South Dakota counters in solid red, shooting camera right. It'll be Andriotti jumping center against Ben Aird, and we are underway here in the semifinal game of the Great West Conference Tournament. Wolverines control the opening tip. Hunsaker gives it over to Williams. Now back to Swarbrick. Swarbrick looking inside, gives it to Williams. Now back over to Hunsaker. Two teams very familiar with each other, so the opening few possessions will show what kind of changes the coaching staff have put in just for this game. Hunsaker throws it into the arms of Cutler. Turnover. Cutler driving, dishing off. Jumper, Krogman. And Ben Aird with the rebound on the miss.
You know, this is what we've just talked about, Jim. The Wolverines have a tendency, when they haven't played in a while, come out sloppy to start games. They've got to get off to a good start. Great shot there by Isiah Williams on the finish at the rim.
Wolverines draw first blood, 2-0 UVU on the drive from Isiah Williams, just named Player of the Year in the Great West Conference this week. Krogman has it. Goes over to the right side, the jumper from Thomas. Good, that was a three. South Dakota with their first lead early, 3-2.
Now, two wide open three-point shots from the right wing for South Dakota. The Wolverines can't be pleased with that, giving up those wide open shots to Krogman and Thomas there as well.
Hunsaker, he'll launch a three right side. Just short. North Dakota comes away with it. Cutler goes left side to Krogman. Into the lane. Shot partially deflected by Aird on the floor. Krogman picks it up. Thought about going up with it. Instead dishes it off to Andriotti. He'll lay it up and in.
The Wolverines give up an offensive rebound, and that's never good when you give up an offensive rebound to the point guard. But credit Krogman there with a nice offensive rebound and dish off for the easy layup.
5-2 for our radio listeners who can't see the score bug on the bottom of the screen. 18 minutes left here in this first half. Wolverines' first game since a week ago Thursday. And they were in New Jersey for that one. Aird misses his little jumper in the lane, and rebound comes down to South Dakota. Wolverines have won 5 in a row coming in here. South Dakota on a 2-game winning streak of their own. Inside feed off the glass, good from Gruis. And just like that, South Dakota, 7 straight points, and they lead at 7-2. And Coach Dick Hunsaker has seen enough. He'll want to take a quick 30-second timeout. We'll keep this one here for our simulcast. Thanks for being with us. I'm Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. Utah Valley, #1 seed in the Great West Conference Tournament. So this is their first game. The #1 seed had a bye. South Dakota, pretty impressive victory last night over Chicago State by 3 points in overtime. Another one of those games, Matt, that could have gone either way. It seems like once you get into conference play, no matter what conference you're talking about, anybody has a chance to win.
Well, and that's the beauty of a tournament, because anybody does have a chance to win. You know, you see the Wolverines come out here, they're the #1 seed. You know, I know it's early, we haven't even played 3 minutes yet, but they certainly aren't looking like the #1 seed. You know, like they went 11-1 in conference. They've struggled. They've struggled offensively. They've given up some open shots, some easy dribble penetrations. As we see South Dakota put a little bit of token pressure here, maybe just a 2-2-1, try and slow the Wolverines down in their transition game. But yeah, it's been far from pretty for the Wolverines thus far.
Sean Deadweiler with the basketball in his hands. He replaced Holton Hunsaker in that lineup. Swarbrick now on the drive baseline. Shot partially deflected, and South Dakota comes away with it again. Cutler on the run. Now goes to the middle of the lane, dishes off through the hands of teammate Andriotti, out of bounds, turnover.
You know, that's the third play that we have seen where a player, whether it be Krogman, whether it be Thomas, or whether it be right there who drove Kendall Cutler, that when they get deep into the lane, they're looking to pass off. Wolverine big players have to be aware that once, you know, if they're going to come to help, they've got to get back, because those perimeter players are looking to drop it off for easy baskets.
Isiah Williams with it. Gives over to Deadweiler. Down low to Geddes Robinson. He'll drive. Up with it and in. Geddes Robinson draws the Wolverines to within 3. 7-4 the score. Jake Thomas for South Dakota. Guarded by Swarbrick, gives over to the right side to Andriotti. He'll work it over to Krogman now. He'll bring it back up top. Geddes Robinson had the guard on him. That's as far out as Geddes has played all season. Jake Thomas, 8 seconds to shoot. He'll take a long 3 and miss it. South Dakota with the weak side rebound. Slapped away, turnover. Isiah with it. Driving, shot blocked out of bounds by the trailing Andriotti. It'll belong to the Wolverines.
A nice job of getting out and running in transition off of the turnover. You know, not much of an advantage there for Isiah as he tried to take the ball to the rim, but a nice job of defense for the Wolverines.
So the Wolverines will trigger baseline. 16 minutes, 14 seconds left here first half. Wolverines trail 7-4. Deadweiler looking for somebody. Finally gets it into Swarbrick. Go to the baseline, give it back to Aird. Back to Swarbrick. Inside, outside game. Back to Aird. He'll drive. Shot no good. And picked up by Geddes Robinson off the floor. Over to Aird. Shot good, but a whistle maybe before that shot. That one's going to go against Steve Tecker of South Dakota, his first. That's the first foul in the game. Comes about 4 minutes deep, so that basket will not count, but it will belong to the Wolverines again. Inbounds play comes into Swarbrick. Work it over to Williams. He'll jump a three left side. Bottom! We're tied at 7. There's your first Wolverine crossing three-pointer of the night. Comes from player of the year, Isiah Williams. Inside feed, wide open. Andriotti, how do you get that open?
Yeah, there was a miscommunication there on rotation because South Dakota is setting a lot of picks on the ball. That was Ben Aird there, came up to defend the pick on the ball, but a wide open roll to the basket.
Isiah forces one up, misses it. Geddes came up with the rebound, diving on the floor. Tried to call a timeout. They do get the timeout, does UVU. 15:27 to play, first half. We'll take a media timeout. 9-7, Wolverines down by 2 right here on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Dr. John is a real UVU professor, not an actor. So to tell his story, we hired a UVU student.
Knowledge-based edification increases executive functioning in the frontal lobes.
Yo, dude, UVU is more than an education. It's a life experience.
Exposure to enhanced pedagogical approaches promotes neural activity in the limbic system.
For sick education, get here and strap in.
UVU facilitates the discovery of your personal Weltanschauung.
What?
Dude, you don't know everything yet.
Utah Valley University. It's your university.
Weltanschauung!
Back to live action here at the UCCU Center. Swarbrick has it. Driving into the lane, layup, no, he traveled. Nine to 7. South Dakota with a 2-point lead. Wolverines with the travel on the inbounds play. Now that brings us to a media timeout. Shall we keep this one here? So, things a little messed up. Let's keep this one here, since we just took that break when the official came over, and I swear he said that was a 60-second timeout. Turned out not to be. 9-7, Wolverines trail with 15:12 to play first half. Winner of this one plays North Dakota tomorrow night, 7:30. Opening game jitters for UVU, Matt?
Well, I think a little bit. I mean, they haven't been as sharp as you would like to see them coming off of a full week of preparation. Obviously, they knew who they were going to play only last night, so had just today to prepare. So I think it's just some opening game jitters. I fully expect the Wolverines to get into a better rhythm here. They're starting to pick it up. A couple nice baskets, a nice three-point shot there from Isiah. I really like how Jordan Swarbrick is being aggressive. Nearly every time he's gotten the ball so far, he's gone to the basket. Obviously getting called for the travel on the last time, but I think it's only just a matter of time before the Wolverines start to hit their rhythm here. And credit South Dakota, they came out ready. They played a tough game last night, as we talked about, but they're going to be ready to go. I think something to focus on their when they have the ball offensively is how many picks on the ball they set and how they try to get their shooters open. Talking about Jake Thomas, Louis Krogman, we're going to have Jordan Boots coming into the game, and Steve Tecker can shoot the three-point ball as well. So watch how many picks on the ball we're going to get here from South Dakota's offense. They're going to try and create that lane driving to the basket for their bigs as well. So I think the Wolverines is just going to be a short adjustment period here.
Wolverines just 33% shooting to start this game. They put up 9 shots and made only 3. South Dakota basketball, they lead at 9-7, coming up on the 15-minute mark here, first half. Krogman has it. Working against Deadweiler, gives it over to Thomas. Now to the corner to Tecker. Back to the other side to Krogman. Starts to drive against Swarbrick, cut off. Krogman comes all the way around, stops, hesitates, goes up, and Geddes Robinson blocked that one. Wolverines come away with it. Holton Hunsaker's not been in the game since he turned the ball over. Replaced by Deadweiler. Isiah. A three from the left side, buries another one. Isiah Williams, 8 points already, and the Wolverines lead it 10-9.
Great screens there from Geddes Robinson and Ben Aird, setting a double screen, springing Isiah. Just a great, well-executed play from the Wolverines.
Coming back the other way, Jake Thomas with a 3 of his own. It's 12-10, South Dakota.
You know, one thing that I remember from the last game that the Wolverines played with South Dakota was the range that Jake Thomas had. That was well beyond the NBA three-point line. So whoever is guarding him, in this case Jordan Swarbrick, he has to make sure that he goes over any screens, can't get caught underneath, or Jake Thomas will make him pay.
Deadweiler misses the drive after the feed from Swarbrick. South Dakota basketball coming back the other way. Jake Thomas working against Swarbrick. Gives over to Tecker. 22 on the shot clock. Working it down low. Andriotti turnaround good. 14-10. Wolverines down by 4 here with 13.5 minutes to play till the break. Deadweiler having a little trouble in the backcourt. Avoids the pressure there. Jumper, Isiah. Missed it from the right side for 3. And South Dakota with a rebound on the miss. Left side, jumper, Jake Thomas. He doesn't miss his. There's a 3. And it's an 8-0 run. South Dakota opened with a 7-0 run. Now they're on an 8-0 run.
And you see how deep those three-point shots are. You know, wherever you're at, you got to be aware and be guarding Jake Thomas.
Well, when all else fails, go to the newcomer of the year, Ben Aird. A little hook shot scores, 17-12. Wolverines down by 5 with 12:45 to play, first half. Boots has it. Jumper right side, no good. That one from Andriotti, and the Wolverines with the rebound. Twelve and a half minutes to play, first half. Wolverines down by 5. Isiah through the lane, layup good, and 1. Isiah Williams playing like the Great West Conference Player of the Year. He's got 10 points already. 10 of the Wolverines' 14.
Yeah, so, you know, when he makes these three-point shots, it's much like Jake Thomas. You have to get out and guard him. But what happens then is that when you put so much pressure on him on the perimeter, he has the skill and ability to drive to the basket as he did there. He came off of a screen, knew that he had his defender trailing him. He just rounded the corner, took it right to the rim, and a great finish.
Isiah, one of the top free throw shooters in the nation, makes it, completes the old-fashioned 3, and just like that, the Wolverines on a little 5-0 spurt. They draw to within 2 at 17-15. 12 minutes and 15 seconds left here in this first half. Boots has it. Working between the circles. Kevin Woods into the game, by the way, along with Justin Baker for the Wolverines, and immediately a quick foul against Justin Baker.
And watch how South Dakota spreads the court. When they have these 4 guards in the game, watch how they spread the court. They run dribble handoffs. They run flare screens. They run where the big man, in this case, Gruis, comes up and sets the pick, but they're really just trying to spread the court, set some screens, and get to the rim.
Nice play by South Dakota inside. Cutler dishing off for the easy layup. 19-15. South Dakota with a 4-point lead. Under 12 to play now. Kevin Woods running point guard for the Wolverines. There's the Deadweiler left side. He airballs it out of bounds. South Dakota basketball, and that brings us to a media timeout. 11:39 to play, and I'm sure about it this time. 19-15. Wolverines down by 4, back in 60 here on the Wolverine Sports Network.
We meet here once a week. It's a chance to discuss mostly.
I've always been like super concerned about saving money, right? But like I really wanted like a good education too. I guess I really got green fever when like I found out how Utah Valley University can get me both.
We have our regulars, and of course there are always our new ones every time.
I'm Steve.
Hi, Steve.
This is my first week here. I'm really excited. This whole green fever thing's kind of just started for me. So.
More and more people want to know about green fever.
Come join the student section and cheer for the Mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
Starting a little better. Back at the UCCU Center, Jim McCall along with Matt Peterson. Wolverines trailing by 4. A reminder, Adidas is now the official outfitter of UVU Athletics. To check out Adidas apparel, go to adidas.com. Wolverines shooting 40%. They're improving a bit, but South Dakota just red hot, 61%. Now, if you keep that up, you're going to win a lot of games if you can shoot 61%.
Yeah, they've got a lot of good shots, and you can credit that to their execution on the offensive end. They've done a wonderful job of running their plays and getting what they wanted. And, Jake Thomas hitting those long threes can't hurt.
Cutler with it. Dishes off inside, and they're going to call a foul against Kevin Woods holding that time. Trevor Gruis. Pass was intended for Gruis, and he couldn't get to it. And Kevin Woods will take a seat, replaced by Holton Hunsaker. South Dakota basketball, fresh 35 to work with. 11 and a half minutes to play, first half. It's a 4-point lead for South Dakota right now. South Dakota, the only team in the Great West Conference to have beaten the Wolverines this season. It was a 4-point win for South Dakota at their place. Working it around, 15 seconds to shoot, driving in, shot, no good. Rebound comes down to Cutler, back up, and he's fouled. Hits the deck hard, foul's going to go against the Wolverines. That one's going to be called against Ben Air. His first. Team's third.
Give a lot of credit to South Dakota for keeping a lot of these plays alive with their offensive rebounds, and they're coming from players who you wouldn't expect to get offensive rebounds. They're guards. And as we got, as we've seen some of the action here, Cutler comes up with this offensive rebound. So the Wolverines have to do a much better job of team rebounding here as we see Cutler in battling for the rebound, battling in with the big guys, and sure not afraid to get in there and draw that foul.
Looked like the official had his choice of about 3 Wolverines to call that one on. I think they all 3 got him, but it's called on Big Ben Air. Cutler misses the first, so it remains 19-15. He's got another one, fouled in active shooting. On its way, missed them both. Rebound, Ben Air. 11 minutes to go in this first half. Keith Thompson into the game, by the way, for the Wolverines. He's been seeing a lot of quality minutes the last few games of the season. Over to Isiah. He's got the hot hand for 3. Too hard. Missed that one. Holding inside. It's going to go against South Dakota. That one's going to be called on Andriotti. For Andriotti, his first, team's third.
Nice job of Justin Baker sealing the weak side rebound there as he was expecting and getting ready for the ball to come off the rim. Great job of positioning himself for that rebound.
Thompson has it, gives it over to Hunsaker. Swings to the left side. Guarded by Thomas, up top to Justin Baker, back to Hunsaker. Hunsaker directs Baker for the screen. Now Baker will take the 3. Too hard. South Dakota with that rebound. Cutler. 19-15. Still a 4-point lead for South Dakota. Nobody scored the last couple of possessions. Krogman now guarded tightly by Baker. Baker left his man, though, in the man-to-man. And South Dakota somehow threw it away. They had a man wide open, didn't find him. Isiah back the other way. Long 3, no good. Isiah ice cold all of a sudden. He's 2 of 6 from three-point land. Under 10 minutes to play here, first half. 19-15, South Dakota with a 4-point lead. Baseline jumper's good. That one coming from Jake Thomas. It was a long 2, 21-15, 6-point lead.
Great job of creating his own shot. Holton Hunsaker forcing him off of the 3-point line, but Jake Thomas just making a nice baseline move and pull-up jump shot.
9.5 minutes to play. Isiah feeds Baker. Tried to get it back to Isiah for the drive. Isiah fouled. He'll shoot 2. That one going to go against. Wait for the official call. I think Cutler. Yeah, Cutler. Isiah Williams, 84% free throw shooter on the season. Makes his first. He's now 2 of 2 from the stripe. 12 points overall.
You know, you like it when you see him driving to the basket. You know, we know that he can shoot the three-point shot. Obviously struggling tonight, 2 of 6. So, you know, maybe he needs to kind of change up how he's approaching this. He can get a three-point shot just about any time he wants, but where he's been most effective tonight is if he can get to the rim.
Got them both. He's got 13. Geddes, Robinson's got 2. Ben Aird's got 2. They're the only players for the Wolverines who've scored thus far. It's the Isiah Williams show. 21-17, South Dakota with about 9 minutes left in this first half. Krogman. A foul away from the basketball inside against Andriotti. His second. Andriotti's going to take a seat. He'll be replaced by Steve Tecker. Well, it's still 60% shooting for South Dakota. UVU at 33%. These two, not a surprise, I guess. These two teams are number 1 and number 2 in the conference in shooting. And South Dakota comes away with a UVU turnover. Jumper outside. Krogman missed the 3. Ben Aird with another rebound.
Wolverines very fortunate there. They left Krogman wide open for that three-point shot. Fortunate that he missed.
There's Keith Thompson dishing off to Aird. Aird will drive in. Little jump hook. Good. 4 straight points by the Wolverines, and it's just a 2-point South Dakota lead. 21-19, 8:20 to play. First half. Semifinals, Great West Conference. Winner plays again tomorrow. Loser is done for the year. One and done time. Off the glass, no good. Rebound fought for. Cutler back up. No, he was fouled big time on the way up. Baker got him for UVU.
Once again, Jim, who gets that offensive rebound? Cutler, a guard. You know, the point guard. These players who you're not expecting to get these offensive rebounds are getting them. You know, give them a lot of credit for being aggressive. And if you're the Wolverines, one of the keys to the game that we focused on was rebounding, and they haven't done a very good job of defensive rebounding so far in this game, and it's created a lot of opportunities for the Coyotes.
Cutler makes his first of 2. Cutler on the season, 70% free throw shooter. TV viewers are getting a look at the replay here. Well, the rebound sort of just went into his lap. It's not like he out-jumped Ben Aird or
didn't
anything.
out-jump him, but you know what? He was in the right place. So, you know, came right to him. Sometimes you luck out that way, but, you know, he was in the right place to get the rebound.
Smart kid. He's one of only 2 seniors on this South Dakota team. Misses the second one, and UVU comes away with it. Isiah Williams taking a breather on the bench, replaced by Deadweiler. Other 4 starters are in there right now for the Wolverines. Just under 8 minutes to play. Inside, Geddes Robinson scores and one. We're tied at 21. 7:50 to play first half. Geddes Robinson has a chance to give the Wolverines the first lead since it was 10-9. Brings us to another media timeout. 7 minutes, 50 seconds left in this first half. It's 22-21. My bad. We'll be back in a minute here on the Wolverine Sports Network.
I never used to care about college sports. I mean, I go to a game or 2, but it's mainly for social reasons, you know? But now things are different.
And how has green fever affected your school spirit?
Are you kidding me? I never miss a sporting event, home or away. You got NCAA baseball, softball, basketball, cross country, golf, track and field, wrestling, soccer, volleyball. I'm keeping stats. I'm memorizing stats. I'm memorizing numbers. I'm dreaming about numbers. I'm dreaming about Wolverines. I just bought a pet Wolverine. It tore my dad's favorite chair. It was wicked awesome.
And how does that make you feel?
Oh, yeah, I guess it's pretty cool. Me? No, I don't play sports. I wouldn't want to make the athletes envious. I don't mess around, man.
It's 22-21. I didn't write down the free throw. That's what it was. Fans, the UVU Alumni Association proud to sponsor the player of the game tonight. You can support UVU scholarships by ordering a UVU license plate online at uvualumni.org/UVU plate. Wolverines 40% shooting. South Dakota cooling off a bit, 53%. Geddes Robinson will be at the free throw line, looking to tie it up. For Geddes, by the way, he hasn't missed a shot. He's only been able to take 2 from the field. He did miss the free throw, though, so it remains a 1-point South Dakota lead, 22-21. 7:45 to play first half. Lewis up top to Krogman. Working against Deadweiler. They go left side to Teckel. Back to Krogman. He'll drive. Pull up jumper. Bounces around. No good. Rebound. Ben Aird. Aird with 5 rebounds already. Aird, the conference's 3rd leading rebounder. Just under 8 rebounds a game. Inside to Aird off the glass. Good. Wolverines lead it. 23-22. That's the first lead since it was 10-9.
Well, that was a very similar play to what they ran a little bit earlier as we get a foul here from Jordan out on the perimeter. You know, that play was one that looked exactly like what they ran for Isiah Williams on a 3-point shot that he hit earlier in the half. But this time they don't go to the player coming off of the double screen. They run it around and dump it into Ben Aird. Nice play, nice execution, and a great finish from Ben.
Just a tick over 7 minutes left here in this first half. South Dakota now trailing the Wolverines by 1, 23-22. Thanks for being with us on this simulcast, our radio listeners as well as our TV viewers on UVU TV. And my goodness, Ben Aird just got run over by Jake Thomas, and there had to be a little acting there because Ben Aird is, no offense to Jake, but Ben Aird's just a lot bigger than Jake.
Yeah, I think Ben got caught when he was hit by Jake Thomas. I think both of his feet were in the air, so it sent him flying. But you'll notice how far out the Wolverines are extending that help defense and how far past NBA three-point line Ben Aird comes out to help on Jake Thomas.
Foul on Aird was his 2nd, by the way. He remains out there. Pull-up, jumper, long one. Jake Thomas, long 2, good. Back and forth they go, 24-23. South Dakota by 1 now with 6:25 left. Hunsaker working against Louis Krogman. Ends it over to Swarbrick. Now to Robinson, right side to Hunsaker again. Working inside to Aird. Twisting, jumping, shot blocked that time. Good block by Gruis. South Dakota on the run the other way. Krogman up with it. No. Rebound, Ben Aird. Well, you got to credit the freshman. You get a shot blocked and you come back and you're there for the rebound. Swarbrick thought about going up for a 3. Instead twists his way into the lane. Dishes off to Aird. He'll jump a long 2. Got it. He could have backed up and taken a 3. He hasn't missed a 3 all season. He's 3 of 3 from 3-point land.
Yeah, all 3 plays there involving Ben Aird getting blocked, the defensive rebound, and hitting the jump shot. No quit in what that run had for him.
Turnaround, fadeaway. Trevor Gruis, baseline, good. 26-25. Every basket is a lead change in this game. 5:24 to play first half. Wolverines down by 1, 26-25. Aird, by the way, 8 points. Driving to the hole, layup, good! And 1, baby. Deadweiler, it will count. Fouled by Mitchell Bowie. 27-26. UVU back out in front.
You know, great play there, great design setup from the Wolverines. You know, definitely South Dakota not expecting the backdoor play there. A great job of dumping it off to Geddes. Sean with a simple straight line cut to the rim and a great pass off and finish.
Deadweiler makes the free throw. It's a 2-point Wolverine lead, 28-26. This matches their biggest lead of the game when it was 2-0. Coming up in 5 minutes left on this one. Inside, Bowie working against Geddes Robinson, and Bowie traveled. Turnover. Number 5 for South Dakota in this game.
You know, it's been trending on these last couple plays. It looks like they're making an effort to get the ball inside, as we saw Gruis with a play previous to that. And they work the ball inside to Bowie, trying to get some instant offense.
Isiah out to Deadweiler. Over to Swarbrick for three. Bouncing around, missed it. And saved from going out of bounds on a nice play by Jake Thomas. South Dakota with the ball. Swarbrick, the best percentage-wise three-point shooter on this Wolverine team. And a turnover again against South Dakota as Jake Thomas called for carrying the ball. 4:40. First half, it's a 2-point Wolverine lead. Swarbrick, Hunsaker, Deadweiler, Williams, and Robinson right now on the floor for the Wolverines. Hunsaker directing traffic. Goes over to Swarbrick, now to Deadweiler. Feed it into Geddes. Backing in against his man, goes up off the glass, missed it. Nothing but red jerseys there for the rebound.
Yeah, good play though. You know, Geddes used that pump fake that he's been known to use. Got a great shot, just wasn't able to finish.
Boots has it, layup good. We're tied at 28 with 4 minutes to play first half.
You know, I don't feel sorry for these. Actually, I should say I do feel sorry for the perimeter players of the Wolverines, because the responsibility that they have in chasing these guards for South Dakota, it's an incredible responsibility.
Deadweiler, pull-up jumper, front rim, no. South Dakota with yet another rebound. South Dakota out-rebounded the Wolverines, by the way, 17-12 at this point. That was one of the keys we talked about on our TV pregame show. Rebounding was going to be a major factor tonight between these two. Shot no good, too hard from Brewis. Geddes Robinson, the conference's leading rebounder, pulls it down for UVU. Isiah drives to the hole, lays it up and in. Isiah's got 15 points. The Wolverines lead by 2, 30-28 with 3:06 to play, first half.
And there we go again, how easy he can get to the rim. I know that basket was in transition, but I love when he can take the ball all the way to the basket, because he has the speed and he definitely has the skill to finish those plays.
Cutler's got it, wide open jumper left side, good. Tied at 30. 2:45 to play. Cutler's got 3 points. Jake Thomas leading the scoring, by the way, for South Dakota with 13. Jumper outside, no. And South Dakota comes away with the defensive rebound. And South Dakota wants to call a quick timeout. We'll keep this one here with 2:36 to play first half. It's 30-30. These two teams, we told you early, were pretty evenly matched. They are the number 1 and number 2 teams in the conference in shooting percentage. Number 1 and number 2 in free throw shooting. Number 1 and number 2 in rebounding. Number 1 and number 2 in scoring. Number 1 and number 2 in assists. It just goes on and on.
And it's very fitting that we're tied 30-30, you know, and the statistics are very similar. We've seen a lot of great play from both teams here in the first half, so it should come as no surprise that we have a tie game 30-30 here. We've seen both teams go in spurts. I think when we look at the keys for both of these teams, I think that, you know, South Dakota's done a very nice job of stopping Ben Aird. Obviously, Isiah Williams is a different story with 15 points, but for the Wolverines, their rebounding has been okay. It hasn't been the best, and I think that, you know, if they can lock down giving up some of those offensive rebounds, it's only going to be better for them here the rest of the game.
The amazing thing to me is South Dakota actually lost 5 conference games. I don't even know how that happened. This is a good team. Cutler with it in the lane, hanging jumper, good. 32-30. Wolverines down now by 2 with 2:15 to play, first half. Deadweiler up top to Swarbrick. He'll go down the lane, force up the shot, good off the glass. Swarbrick's first 2 points of the night tie this one at 32.
You know, if we talk about how Isiah can get to the basket at any time, we can say that about Jordan. And so, you know, I mentioned a little bit earlier how his aggressiveness coming out was key, because he looks to drive to the basket every time, and on that play it worked out well for him.
Boots with it, tries to dish off, ball stolen away. Isiah on the break, one-on-one. Isiah will take it all the way, layup good. Isiah Williams has 17 points. He had 18 in the first game between these two. He had 17 in the second game. He's already got 17 here. We got a minute and a half to play first half. 34-32, Wolverines by 2. Jumper, corner, long one, Good. It was a 3. That one from Jordan Boots. And it's South Dakota back out in front, 35-34.
You know, a huge part of South Dakota's offense is flare screens. I mean, they set a flare screen just about every time down the floor. That's exactly what they set there to get Krogman wide open.
Deadweiler tries to get some distance between himself and Kendall Cutler, and he pushed off and drew the foul. We've got another media timeout. Just under 1 minute left here in this first half. We'll take it with them. 35-34. Wolverines down by 1. Back in 60 seconds here, right on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Join the student section and cheer for the Mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
Wolverines being out-rebounded right now, 18-13. A reminder, Lakita Inn and Suites, they have a special UVU discounted rate. Fans always wake up on the bright side at Lakita. 45% shooting for UVU. South Dakota with 58%. It's a semifinal here in the Great West Conference Tournament presented by Pepsi. We're at the UCCU Center in Orem, Utah. Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. Simulcast tonight, both on UVU TV as well as on K-Star Radio, AM and FM tonight. Thank you, K-Star. Just under a minute to play here, first half. South Dakota with a 1-point lead and possession. I mentioned, by the way, South Dakota 4 of 7 on three-pointers. Boots has it, gives it over to Cutler. Goes inside to Gruis. Working hard. Kicks it outside. 15 seconds on the shot clock. 38 on the game clock. Jordan Boots with it. Gives it back over to Cutler. They'll set up their offense again. 8 seconds to shoot. Cutler takes it in around the defense of UVU. An easy layup. 37-34. It's a 3-point South Dakota lead with 22 to play. 22 seconds. First half. Shot clock is off. And Wolverines showing every sign of playing for the last shot of the half. And again, directing traffic. I haven't seen the Wolverines direct traffic like this all season after the first couple of games. Geddes Robinson has it. He'll drive in and score up the glass. And that's how we will send the teams to the locker room. It's a 1-point game. Favor of South Dakota, 37-36. Heck of a first half. As we close this one out with Geddes Robinson, Matt, going around his man, laying it up and in.
Yeah, nice job of Holton not forcing the shot. It looked like he was going to put that shot up on the wing, but realizing that Geddes was open and a nice job. You know, that gives the Wolverine 24 points in the paint in the first half. 24 of their 36 points come in the paint. So, you know, that's the tell right there that when they can get the ball inside, they've usually had success so far.
Winner of this one plays North Dakota tomorrow night for the Great West Conference Championship. The loser, their season is over. We'll take a break. Back with halftime coming up. It's 37-36, South Dakota over Utah Valley here on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Here at UVU's College of Technology and Computing, also known as TNC, we don't spend a lot of time bragging, but I guess we could. We could brag about having one of the top 3 aviation programs in the entire country, turning out professional pilots and administrative personnel to work for airlines and private industry. Or We could brag about our national award-winning culinary arts program, with graduates who are going straight to glamorous jobs on cruise ships and in major restaurants, or who are opening their own restaurants. Or we could brag about our digital media students who are winning major awards even before they graduate. Or we could brag about our international efforts, sending TNC students all over the world, places like Mali and Russia and Namibia. Or we could brag about our computer science department, or our information systems and technology department as they continue to train some of the best and sharpest young minds in the state of Utah, using state-of-the-art technology in classrooms and computer labs. Or we could brag about our technology management program, where students are always engaged in life-changing projects like using technology to assist those with disabilities. Or I guess we could brag about the fact that many of the CSI investigators and fire and rescue personnel in the state of Utah have gone through extensive training in our public services programs. Or I guess we could brag about our world land speed record car that was completely built and raced out of our highly acclaimed automotive department. Or we could brag about our high-tech electrical automation and robotic technology and mechatronics programs, or our engineering graphics and design program, which is turning out some of the most advanced technicians in the state of Utah. Or we could brag about our construction technology students who help build Habitat for Humanity homes and just won first place at the National Association of Home Builders competition in Las Vegas. That's first place in the entire nation. Or we could brag about TNC students leading UVU to a first, second, or third place finish in the nation for 10 straight years at the National Skills USA competition. Or we could brag about the fact that many companies are discovering that when they hire our graduates, they get somebody who doesn't just know facts. They get a TNC graduate who has actually done it before. And that's because our TNC students are engaged, truly engaged, in actually doing things rather than just learning facts. So, even though there is a lot to brag about here at the College of Technology and Computing, we really don't like to brag much.
If you're serious about going to college and getting a head start on the process, come get a feel for what university life is like. UVU Days are designed with you in mind. UVU Days are department-specific events held on Saturdays that will allow you to become a student for a day. These events are free and breakfast and lunch are served. It's a great opportunity to meet your future dean, professors, and advisors. Highlighted programs include business, science and health, education, humanities, aviation, dance, theater, and emergency service. For more information, dates, and times, please visit our website at www.uvu.edu/future students. Come experience what UVU has to offer in your field of study.
I love everything about UVU. I really do. It's a fantastic place. I feel like I've grown as an artist, as a student, as a human being.
As someone from a different state who was trying to find a dance school, it was very, very hard. And I happened to come by UVU by chance, actually. It's a great school. It teaches you history, rhythm, music, choreography, improv, dance. It even has a major in ballroom dance.
When I think of UVU's School of the Arts program, I think of opportunity that I wouldn't get anywhere else outside of the classroom.
I feel like I know my professors. I feel like they're interested in my learning process.
The professors here have just been really, really personable, very, very willing to go out of their way to meet with me, to talk with me, offer advice, counsel, and just overall they just believe that what you're doing here matters. And that's what I love.
much to enjoy outdoors in the state of Utah. Whether you want a spring, summer, fall, or winter adventure, the OAC has you covered. Backpacking, winter camping, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, backcountry snowboarding and skiing, rafting, kayaking, rock climbing, mountain biking, and hiking.
Come join the student section and cheer for the Mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
Situated just 45 minutes south of Salt Lake City, UVU is located at the foot of the scenic Wasatch Mountains in Orem, Utah. Within 20 miles of campus, students enjoy access to year-round outdoor recreation. Utah Valley is also home to a vibrant local arts and music scene. Many students choose UVU for access to a dynamic economy, employment, and career opportunities.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world. By Utah Community Credit Union, a proud sponsor of Wolverine Athletics and the official sponsor of the UVU student section, the Mall. By Pinnacle Security, your life secure. Get a Pinnacle Security system today at pinnaclesecurity.com. And our pregame show brought to you by Costa Vida. Costa Vida, eat well, live inspired. Jim McCullough with Matt Peterson. It's a one-point ball game at halftime, 37-36. Wolverines down to South Dakota. Matt, our radio listeners already heard that score sheet. Our TV viewers just joining us for the first time in our halftime show. I'll give a couple stats, and I just want you to point out what jumps out at you the most. Wolverines led in scoring by Isiah Williams, 17 points. Ben Aird has 8. Geddes Robinson, 6. And gosh, not many other people scored. Sean Deadweiler 3 and Jordan Swarbrick with 2. That was it. Hunsaker didn't score. Woods didn't score. Thompson didn't score. Baker didn't score. Meanwhile, for South Dakota, 13 points from Jake Thomas, 7 from Cutler, 6 from Gruis, 4 from Andriotti, 5 from Boots, 2 from Tecker. They spread it out. Wolverines out-rebounded 18-13. Okay, what jumps out at you?
Well,
partner,
I think obviously how well South Dakota shot the basketball in the first half. 16 of 27, 59%, 4 of 7 from the three-point line. We haven't seen a whole lot of free throws in this game. Only 5 for the Wolverines, 4 for South Dakota. Another thing that really stuck out to me was the three-point shooting of the Wolverines. Only 2 of 9. That's very uncharacteristic of them, especially in this building. I had mentioned right before we went to halftime there, points in the paint. UVU with 24 out of their 36 points coming from in the paint. South Dakota only 14. We've had the largest lead for South Dakota of 7 points. We've had 11 lead changes in this game, so it's been very exciting and been very back and forth. But I think those are some of the things that really stuck out to me, and not to mention the fact that South Dakota out-rebounded the Wolverines 18-13 in the first half. That number 13 seems very low for the Wolverines statistically. I know it's only one half, so we'll have to wait until the end of the game to see how the total shake out. But I think just the fact that South Dakota shot the ball so well really kept them and propelled them to this lead right here.
Yeah, South Dakota jumped out to a 7-2 lead. Wolverines came back to lead at 10-9. South Dakota on an 8-0 run, led at 17-10. Wolverines cut it to 2. South Dakota pushes it out again. Game was tied at 28 with 4 minutes to play. Wolverines took a lead at 34-32, and then we're at halftime, 37-36. South Dakota, pretty even game between two pretty evenly matched teams. We're going to take a 60-second timeout. Back with your second half of action. Coming up here, semifinals of the Great West Conference Tournament. The winner plays North Dakota tomorrow night for the championship. The loser is done for the season. Back in 60 here on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Bus pass, $5. UVU t-shirt so you can impress the ladies, $25. iPod Nano, $120. A degree from UVU so you can afford your own car someday. Priceless. For everything else, there's student loans.
Play against New Mexico. Our TV viewers have joined us again. Getting ready to start our second half. Teams are out warming up right now. 37-36, South Dakota with a 1-point lead. Games all over the nation going on tonight as tournaments continue. Everybody looking for those dance tickets. The winner of the Great West Conference Tournament, by the way, gets an automatic bid not to the NCAA tournament, but to the CIT tournament, the collegeinsider.com tournament. Brand new tournament. Well, it's their third year. And they have invited the conference champs from the Great West to be an automatic seed if they don't get into the NCAA tournament. And quite frankly, neither one of these teams are going to be invited to the NCAA or the NIT. So you've got to win the Great West to have any postseason action past the conference tournament.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, Jim, you know, it gives you the opportunity to play for something else, to play for another game. You know, and when you play basketball and you get to, you know, I can attest to this, obviously playing 3 years here with the Wolverines, that you know, you get to that last game and you realize, you know what, you're going to be done after this. So you want to be able to have an opportunity to play for something still going forward. So very exciting for both of these teams, very exciting for the conference as a whole. The winner of this conference, winner of this tournament, will get to play another game.
Wolverines, we've mentioned it many times, were the #1 seed coming in here. They had an 11-1 conference record. South Dakota 7-5 conference record. South Dakota is the defending conference champs, though, so they're no stranger to pressure situations in the postseason, at least in the conference tournaments, that's for sure. And they're doing a pretty good job here. North Dakota wrapped up, if you missed it earlier in their game tonight, very close game. They won it by 2, 65-63 over Houston Baptist, who was the #7 seed out of 7 teams. They almost knocked off North Dakota, but North Dakota pulls it out, so they'll play in the championship tomorrow night. 7:30 tip. By the way, that game will not be, it's going to be a little different. It will be televised, or excuse me, it's going to be audio only for UVU radio on K-Star. And James Warnick will do that one, as Matt and I have been invited to do the game for Fox tomorrow. The championship game, regardless of who's in it, will be carried by Fox College Sports, and we'll be calling that game tomorrow night for them, partner. So that one should be fun. And we've promised that if UVU is in that championship game, that we will be unbiased. You and your green shirts.
Well, I figured, you know, if I was going to wear a green shirt, it had to be tonight. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was probably just the one I grabbed out of my closet today, too.
So if Fox College Sports is in your area, you'll get to watch the game. Otherwise, you can listen to it on K-Star, AM and FM, and streaming live on the internet with James Warnick handling the play-by-play. South Dakota starts the second half with possession, shooting camera left. Same 5 for the Wolverines, who started the first half, start the second half. Wolverine fans have those names memorized by now. Cutler's got it, working on the right wing. Gives it over to Thomas, pull-up jumper, good. Long 2. 39-36, South Dakota out quickly with a 3-point lead now. First 30 seconds of the second half.
You know, I think it's going to be vital for the Wolverines to start the second half much better than they did the first half, because they got behind early, and you don't want to continue to give South Dakota some confidence as they come out here. As once again, love seeing Isiah drive to the rim, but you know, they have to play a whole lot better in the first 3 or 4 minutes of this half than they did in the first half.
That foul against Cutler. Holding on to him a little bit as he tried to go around. Cutler's first. Inbounds play comes into Aird up top. Over to Swarbrick now. Swarbrick will drive to the baseline. Shot too hard off the glass. Rebound. Geddes Robinson back up and in. South Dakota's lead is down to 1, 39-38 with 19 minutes left in this one. Krogman has it for the Coyotes. Inside, Andriotti misses. Over to Cutler. South Dakota maintains possession. Swatted away by Ben Aird out of bounds. Ben Aird leads this UVU team with block shots. That's number 37 on the year. Still belongs to South Dakota. 25 seconds on the shot clock. Thomas has it, working against Swarbrick. Gets over to Cutler. 15 seconds to shoot. South Dakota very patient on this one. Lob inside to Gruis. And stolen away. Ben Aird comes up with it. Isiah's got it. Look at him go all the way and good. Isiah Williams, 19 points. Man on a mission.
Let's contrast the start of the two halves here. The Wolverines coming out with much more energy, much more aggression on the offensive end. Get the lead back here as a long three-point shot from Thomas, but once again, another offensive rebound given up.
Wolverines lead is 1, and a whistle as Cutler is knocked to the floor. That one's going to go against Hunsaker. His first, team's first of the half. Played just over 2 minutes here in the second half. It's a good matchup, Holton Hunsaker and Kendall Cutler. Cutler the senior, Hunsaker the freshman though, and Ben Aird flops down, and Andriotti's going to get called for the charge. His third personal foul. Andriotti, 6'8" junior from Sao Paulo, Brazil, will take a seat, replaced by Steve Tecker.
South Dakota now going to, their smaller lineup as they have 4 guards really in the game, with Gruis being the only interior player. So I think this could be a great opportunity for Geddes Robinson and Ben Aird to get some baskets, and specifically Geddes, because he's going to have a smaller man guarding him.
Swarbrick has it. Top of the key, no shot yet. Gives over to Geddes Robinson. He'll drive, but he drug a foot first. Turnover, Wolverines on the travel. Wolverines with a 1-point lead, 40-39. It's a simulcast tonight. Thanks for being with us. AM, FM, and UVU TV all looking in on this one. Jumper left side for 3 is good. That one coming from Krogman. And it's 42-40. South Dakota back out in front. 11 lead changes in that first half.
I think we've had about 4 so far in the second half.
Seems like it. 2 pretty evenly matched teams. And that's what you like to see in a semifinal game. And hopefully, which either one of these teams makes it to tomorrow night, will give North Dakota an equally challenging game. Geddes Robinson inside. Shot, no, but he was fouled. Probably Cutler. Nope. Tecker. For Tecker, that's number 3. And team foul number 3. Just under 17 minutes.
Yeah, just as I said, Jim, just a few moments ago, with the smaller lineup, you have the opportunity to pound it inside. That's exactly what the Wolverines did here. Geddes Robinson getting the ball, having a smaller player on him and doing a nice job of taking him to the basket and getting to the free throw line.
Geddes Robinson misses the first free throw. Robinson, 64% free throw shooter. Second one on its way. This one also no good. And South Dakota with a rebound. 42-40. Wolverines down by 2 with 16 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. Krogman has it in the lane. Ball on the floor, picked up by South Dakota. Still bouncing around though. Hunsaker dives for it, calls a timeout. Oh, they call it a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to the Wolverines. Could have sworn Hunsaker was calling timeout when he was down there.
I think they gave the jump ball because I didn't see who it was. It looks like it was number 5, Kendall Cutler, who had his hand on the ball as well. I like those calls that they don't necessarily bail the offensive player out with a timeout, but I think a good call there on the jump ball, as we'll see.
TV viewers getting a replay look.
And we'll see Holton Hunsaker diving on the floor here. He forces the strip. It's going to be hard to see because it's going to be on the other side there, but it looks like Cutler had his hand on the ball and gets rewarded for that with the jump. It'd be so much easier if they would just toss this ball up, give it a jump ball here.
The officials want to come over and look at the replay, as a matter of fact, and what would they be doing? Time on the clock, maybe?
Possibly.
16:32 is what the scoreboard says right now. 42-40. Wolverines are down by 2 here in this semifinal game. Isiah Williams, 19 points. He's the only Wolverine in double figures. Geddes Robinson has 8. Ben Aird with 8. Deadweiler with 3. Swarbrick with 2. One-man show for the Wolverines right now. Meanwhile, South Dakota also one player in double figures. That's Jake Thomas. He's got 15. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other players have at least scored for the South Dakota. Swarbrick, the only starting senior on this team of the Wolverines, with just 3 seniors on their roster. So Wolverines will return 4 starters next year. Next year they'll have 2 seniors and 2 sophomores starting, unless they bring in somebody that beats these guys out. Justin Baker is one of those seniors for UVU that was supposed to be starting this year, and he got beat out by Geddes Robinson and Ben Aird, a junior and a freshman.
You know, and what's nice to see about that situation with Justin is what did you mention he got awarded with?
6th man of the year.
Exactly, 6th man of the year. So, you know, you can still contribute no matter what role you are on a team. You can still come in and contribute. A great award for Justin to win. And I was very excited to see him and all the other awards that, for that matter, that the Wolverine players received.
Yeah, talking about Baker, he averages 7 points a game, but his season high was against these very Coyotes of South Dakota. Had 17 points in that second game here at Utah Valley. Well, the officials are to our left and still looking at that replay. And now they're huddled up talking about something. Maybe it's not the clock they're looking at.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know what else it would be, because there was no foul called. It has to be, maybe it's not dealing with the shot clock. It has to be dealing with the game clock as far as when that was stopped. Maybe they let the time run a little bit after that, but I can't imagine what else they would be looking at.
Well, actually, our producer told me in the ear that the official said he wanted to look at it because Holton said he was kicked intentionally while he was on the ground.
Okay,
so the officials are taking a look at that.
There we go.
And if so, we got some issues here. Now they're calling both head coach Dave Boots of South Dakota and head coach. Well, here's the replay. Dick Hunsaker comes over as well. I don't see anything yet. Oh my goodness,
yeah.
There it is.
Oh, right there. And then he offers to help him up.
Kendall Cutler kicks him in the side. You got to be kidding me. Cutler is a senior. He knows better than that. This is a sharp kid. He's a lot smarter than that. He's a lot better player than that.
Yep. Calling both coaches in here to give that replay. Great work there by our camera crew getting that shot, because you can definitely see that he was kicked in the side.
Yeah, I mean, do you throw a guy out for that?
I don't think you would. I don't think you'd throw him out. I don't think it was serious enough. But you know, there could have possibly been maybe a technical foul call, but there was definitely an intentional kick there.
Well, it's the doggone Green Man group's making so much noise I can't hear the officials, who sit about 3 players to our 3 seats to our left.
Yeah, we'll see the replay here. Watch the right foot. Definitely kicks him in the side.
All right, it is a technical foul, I believe. They're going to put Holton Hunsaker at the free throw line. Now, this must be because he was fouled, because Swarbrick would be the free throw shooter on the technicals.
We've got a contact technical foul, a dead ball contact technical foul on number 5. White team will shoot 2 free throws. Receive the ball out of bounds at midcourt. The arrow will not change.
Wow, that was the official who came over and gave us a very nice explanation. I don't know if our viewers or viewers on TV and our radio listeners could hear that. A contact technical foul. Yeah, I'll say there's contact. So Holton Hunsaker will shoot it. Hunsaker, one of the best free throw shooters in the nation as well. 53rd in the nation out of some 2,000 Division I college basketball players. He's number 53. Had 38 straight free throws made earlier this season. makes the first one, so it's just a 1-point South Dakota lead. Wolverines will have the ball after this. Second one bounces around and drops through good.
And what the official said as well is that the possession arrow will not change, so I believe that the Wolverines were awarded on the jump ball with the ball, so I believe that it should be South Dakota's ball the next possession. What was very interesting to me, great explanation there from Dwayne Allen right here in front of us, but I didn't know that you could replay something like that, you know, a player could initiate that, because definitely Holton went and initiated and said that he was kicked, and they went and reviewed that play and called a foul after the fact. I didn't know that that was something that was possible.
Isiah Williams through the lane. He's got 21 points, and the Wolverines are suddenly up in front by 2, 44-42. Coming up on 16 minutes left in this one. Turnaround jumper, rims off, no good. Wolverines with a rebound. Now that's going to be sad if that's the play that just turns everything around in this game, to be honest with you.
Well, you never know what play does it. Maybe something like that is what sparks the Wolverines and puts, you know, gets South Dakota out of their rhythm.
Wolverines, Isiah Williams missed that driving shot, but Geddes Robinson goes up and commits a foul, pulling down that offensive rebound. For Robinson, his first foul is a media timeout. Just under 16 minutes to play. Wolverines by 2, 44-42. Don't go away. This thing's heating up. This is going to be fun. Back in 60 seconds here on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Utah Valley University. Your life, your beat, your university.
Leads by 2. A reminder, fans, Pepsi is proud to be a major sponsor of Utah Valley University Athletics. Pepsi, every generation refreshes the world. 44-42. Wolverines up by 2. And we talked about it, Matt, at halftime, that South Dakota shot a blistering 59% that first half. Now they come out in the second half, 2 of 7. That's just 28%. Meanwhile, look at Utah Valley, 3 of 5. Yeah, I know it's early, but that's still 60%.
You know, it's very odd how it works out that way sometimes in basketball games, is you can be on fire one half, and then simply 20 minutes later you can come out in the second half and struggle mightily to shoot the ball. Both teams have reversed the way they performed in the first half.
Boots takes a three-pointer and gets it to bounce around and drop through good. And guess what? Another lead change as South Dakota's up in front now, 45-44, 15 and a half to play. This one has been back and forth. How many lead changes?
That's 15 now.
Wow, 15 lead changes. Great game. Ben Aird fouled in the act of shooting by Gruis. So to put Ben Aird at the free throw line, the freshman. Yeah, everybody in the Great West Conference. Ben Aird is a freshman, newcomer of the year, 6'9", averages 12 points a game, 3rd in the conference in rebounding and 7.8 a game. And he had a terrible start to the season. He's been coming on pretty strong since about New Year's Day. At New Year's Day, the Wolverines were 6-8. Since then, they've won 13 out of 15 games. And Ben Aird has been a huge factor in that. Both free throws are good from Big Ben. And another lead change, 46-45. Wolverines now by 1. Just over 15 minutes left in this one. And there's the freshman diving out of bounds after deflecting the ball. He'll get a hand from the crowd. It'll still be South Dakota's basketball. Ben Aird served an LDS mission in Spokane, Washington. Just got home I believe it was in August, and he was not in basketball shape. From what I'm looking at, it may have taken him about 3 months, about till New Year's Day, to get his legs back. Turnover. Swarbrick comes up with it. He's on the run. He'll take it to the hole. Missed it. Aired back up and in. There's your newcomer of the year. And the Wolverines are up on top 48-45. 14 minutes, 38 seconds left in this one.
Well, if there's an award for energy, it's got to go to Ben Aird with diving on the floor and then that follow.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
then that foul.
He had so much energy that Trevor Gruis went right around him and Ben with a silly foul from behind. That's not good. 48-47, and is going to put Gruis at the free throw line. And third foul on Ben Aird. We'll see what Coach Dick Hunsaker elects to do. Baker comes into the game, but he comes in for Geddes Robinson, so Aird stays out there with 3. Gruis looking to tie this thing up with 14:32 to play. On its way, and boy, did not go down. That thing rolled around and went off a UVU player out of bounds. It'll belong to South Dakota.
Another unfortunate break there, giving up another offensive rebound. That's the last place you want to give up an offensive rebound is on a free throw.
Jake Thomas buries the 3 on the inbounds play, and it's 50-48. South Dakota. Isiah for 3. Back rim too hard. South Dakota with the rebound. Isiah now 2 of 7 on 3-point attempts. Maybe trying a little bit too hard to prove why he's the Great West Conference player of the game. But he's got 21 points. Who am I to talk, huh? 18 seconds to shoot for South Dakota, by the way. We're under 14 minutes on the game clock. South Dakota with a 2-point lead. Jumper, corner, good. Another 3-pointer. This one from Jordan Boots. 53-48.
Yeah, the Wolverines are struggling getting out to these 3-point shooters. South Dakota is doing a nice job of breaking the defense down and dishing out to wide open 3-point shooters. Back-to-back 3-point shots given up from the Wolverines is pretty unacceptable given the lineup that they have on the court.
Hunsaker works it into air, turnaround hook. No, he drew the foul though, so he'll shoot 2 more free throws. Foul that time by Gruis. Trevor Gruis, the freshman from Ellsworth, Minnesota, going up against Ben Aird, the freshman from Bountiful, Utah. Aird at the stripe. He's 2 of 2 from the free throw line tonight, 5 of 8 from the floor, 12 points overall for Ben. 8 rebounds. First one, good. 53-49 now. Swarbrick takes a seat. Deadweiler into the game for the Wolverines. Big Ben taking his time at the stripe. Second one, good. South Dakota with a 3-point lead, 53-50. Just over 13 minutes left in this game. Inside feed. They got it to Andriotti. He was stripped, and he was fouled when he was stripped. Justin Baker got him.
Yeah, these picks on the ball that the bigs are setting, whether it be Andriotti or whether it be Gruis, and when they roll to the basket, the Wolverines haven't found an answer for that. You know, they've had so many opportunities of when they set these picks, they just simply turn and roll to the basket, go straight at the rim, and they get just about any shot they want, as we see Justin Baker having to come over on a late rotation, swiping the ball away from Andriotti. But the Wolverines have to shore up that part of their defense, or South Dakota's not going to stop running those picks on the ball and rolling to the basket.
Andriotti made 1 of 2 free throws. Wolverines rebound. That was the 3rd personal, by the way, on Justin Baker. So now Baker and Aird, Wolverines 2 big men, both out there with 3 personal fouls each. Just under 13 minutes left in this game. Wolverines are down by 4. 54-50 the score for our radio listeners. Low post feed into Aird, kicks out Hunsaker. He'll jump a 3. No, that time Boots had a hand in his face, and a foul going to go against South Dakota on that loose ball rebound. That one's going to go against Bowie.
We had a good angle on that 3-point shot there from Holton. I believe it was Krogman who did a nice job of getting out and putting a hand up as Holton had to double clutch that three-point shot, but a nice job of Justin Baker once again being in good position for the offensive rebound.
Baker at the line looking for his first points tonight. He's only had one shot from the floor. He misses the first. He will not get another on the 1-and-1. So South Dakota with possession. They lead at 54-50 with 12.5 minutes to play. Boots lost the handle on the drive. Wolverines on the run. 3-on-3. Hunsaker pulls up. Jumper. No. Andriotti got enough in his field of vision, I think, to make Holton alter that shot. South Dakota with possession, and a long shot from the corner by Jake Thomas is good.
He's had an incredible game. You know, that gives him 20 points, and he's shown all-around game. He's shown being able to drive to the basket, pull-up game like that, three-point shooting. An incredible game from Jake Thomas.
Jake Thomas, just a sophomore, he had 17 points in each of the two first games between these two teams. A whistle away from the action this time. Again, a foul on Mitchell Bowie of South Dakota. That brings us to a media timeout. 11:51 to play. Wolverines are down by 6, 56-50. We'll take a 60-second break. You're watching and listening to exclusive coverage of Utah Valley University basketball on the Wolverines Sports Network. %. 59% shooting for South Dakota. Fans, the Utah Army National Guard is the official sponsor of the UVU Athletics Pink with a Purpose Games, raising money for people in need. Right now, the Wolverines need to get something going against South Dakota, who's 59% shooting for the game. Wolverines not bad at 45%, but South Dakota just on fire. And Wolverines being out-rebounded, as you've mentioned several times, Matt. 27-19 is the differential right now. Justin Baker at the free throw line. On its way, this one no good. Back rim, and comes down to South Dakota.
Well, one bright spot for the Wolverines is, the next foul, they're going to be in the double bonus for the rest of the game. We've talked about all year long how good of a free throw shooting team the Wolverines are. That can be a great asset if they'll stay aggressive. They can get free throw shots on any time they get fouled.
Turnaround jumper off the glass, too hard from Bowie, and a foul inside. That might be number 4 on Ben Air. He's complaining about it because it is. And he didn't like the call, but that's number 4 on Big Ben. Coach Dick Hunsaker now has a real decision to make with 11.5 minutes to play in this game. And Ben Air, 14 points, 8 rebounds, got 4 fouls, and he's right now staying out there. Andriotti free throw, no good. And here comes Geddes Robinson, and Ben Air takes a seat. And normally you'd say, wow, you're putting in here's the foul.
Pretty tough call there. I don't know whether he called it. He did have his left hand on the back, but a very tough call there, as Ben seemed to get all ball on that block.
The officials here for the Great West Conference Tournament have come from several different conferences. We have WAC officials, we have Mountain West officials, we do have some Great West Conference officials, and to be honest with you, they've done a great job all week long, both in the men's games and the women's games. Right now it's 56-50. Wolverines down by 6 with 11:15 to play. Wolverine possession. Isiah for 3. Front rim, no good. South Dakota with the rebound. Louis Krogman goes over to Boots. Tries to feed inside Andriotti. Stolen away by Baker and the Wolverines. Justin Baker told me earlier this thing is personal for him tonight. Deadweiler inside, got it. Nice laser beam pass from Isiah Williams. What an assist. Isaiah's got 21 points and 1 assist, and that was it. Three-pointer the other way, good. My goodness gracious, Krogman nails it.
The Wolverines cannot go under the screens. Anytime there's a ball screen, they have to fight over the top because the three-point shooters for South Dakota are just too good. There's no way they can continue to go underneath those screens and give up those three-point shots.
59-52, Wolverines down by 7. Isiah hanging jumper in the lane, no. South Dakota with a rebound. Geddes Robinson a little hesitant inside that time. Only 1 personal foul on Geddes. I'm sure Coach Dick Hunsaker's told him it's on your shoulders now, pal, because Ben's on the bench. Under 10 minutes to play now. South Dakota leading by 7. 10 seconds to shoot. Krogman does it. Missed the 3 and tipped out of bounds. It'll belong to the Wolverines. As that one went off Bowie.
That was a big miss. The Wolverines got lucky there once again. They got caught going underneath the screen as Krogman got a wide open three-point shot. Just barely rimmed it out. This is a very critical possession. I know there's still about 10 minutes left in this game, but the Wolverines have to get some offense. They've been struggling the last couple of possessions. Where is their offense going to come from? They need to get a basket on this, on this play here to boost their confidence.
Hunsaker walks it across the stripe. For our radio listeners, from left to right. Hunsaker in the corner. Guarded closely out to Deadweiler. He'll jump a 3, no good. And rebound comes down to Bowie of South Dakota. Bowie's not that big of a guy either, 6'4". He's a senior though, and pretty tough kid inside. Pulling down a lot of rebounds here. Got 7 of them already. Wolverines come away with it. 9 minutes left. Wolverines down by 7. Geddes Robinson's got it. Driving in. Missed it. And a foul inside. Probably going to go against Gruis. It is. Gruis picks up his 3rd personal. So now South Dakota getting a little foul trouble themselves. Kendall Cutler with 3. Andriotti with 3. Steve Tecker with 3. And Mitchell Bowie with 3. Wolverines have Justin Baker with 3 and Ben Aird on the bench with 4. Nobody else with more than 1.
We'll see here, yeah, Geddes going strong to the rim against Gruis there. Probably called with a little bit of a body foul there. Didn't look like much on the
I didn't see anything
contact,
there either.
So must have been called for the body.
Both free throws are good. 59-54. Wolverines draw to within 5 with 8 minutes and 50 seconds left. Semifinal action here in the Great West Conference Tournament. Losers done for the season. Winner plays North Dakota tomorrow night right here on this floor on Fox College Sports. Gruis working hard, has to dish it off. 15 seconds to shoot. Hunsaker dives for it. Thought he had it. And that time,
traveling call. A very wild possession. We were blocked out by the official here, but Gruis came up with the basketball off of the deflection and the steal attempt there, and he traveled trying to go to the basket. Wolverine basketball.
It was pretty good until the official stood right in front of me. Turnover gives the Wolverines possession with 8 minutes and 18 seconds left. Hunsaker for 3. Hunsaker's first basket from the floor is a 3-pointer. It's a Wolverine crossing 3-pointer. And Coach Dave Boots wants to take a timeout. 8:07 to play. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep this one here. It's a 2-point lead now for South Dakota.
Watch this screen here from Geddes Robinson. Sets a great screen, doesn't move, allows Holton to come right off the pick. Holton knew he was going to shoot at the second. He turned around the corner there, and a great basket and a wonderful turn of events for the Wolverines' favor here, keyed by some key defensive possessions.
Well, we said in most of the first half it was a one-man show, Isiah Williams. But now suddenly the Wolverines have 3 players in double figures. Isiah's got 21, Ben Aird with 14, Geddes Robinson with 10. Holton Hunsaker's first basket from the floor gives him 5 points. He did have 2 free throws before that. Deadweiler's got 5. Swarbrick, a very quiet 2 points tonight on just 1 of 5 shooting. Meanwhile, 20 points from Jake Thomas, 11 from Jordan Boots. They're the 2 players in double figures for South Dakota. South Dakota still shooting a very respectable 56% from the floor. UVU 45%. It's been a good college basketball game.
Yeah, it's been a great game, and we still have 8 minutes left. Here's what I think is going to be a huge key. I think that this game is going to come down to the Wolverines' perimeter defense. Because when they have struggled, when they have given up leads in this game, it has been because Krogman, Thomas, Cutler, those players have had an impact on the game, whether it be their 3-point shooting or the ability to get into the paint and create offense for their teammates. So I'm looking forward to one thing coming down the stretch here, and that's the perimeter defense, and it's going to fall on the shoulders here as we have Jordan Swarbrick, Holton Hunsaker, and Sean Deadwell, and I'm sure Isiah Williams will be in that discussion also.
South Dakota possession, under 8 minutes to play now. 2-point game. South Dakota's advantage right now. Cutler has it. Gives it over to Bowie. Back to Cutler. Inside. Blocked from behind, but put back up. Tipped back up and in by Gruis. 61-57. Wolverines down by 4. 7:30 to play. Baker backing in. Turnaround jumper against Gruis. Gruis comes away with it on the miss. South Dakota possession inside layup. Good. That one from Louis Krugman. Tell you, these guys are pretty good.
Yeah, just as I said, Jim, it's going to be the perimeter defense, giving up those easy shots, giving up those backdoor, those layups. You know, the Wolverines can't expect to have success if they can't stop those players.
Holton for 3. Another Wolverine crossing 3-pointer from the freshman. Holton Hunsaker, honorable mention, all conference as a freshman. 63-60. 6 minutes, 35 seconds left. South Dakota with a 3-point lead. Lewis goes back up top. Thomas, he'll jump a 3. Bouncing around, comes off, no good. Geddes Robinson with a rebound for UVU.
Well, cutting it close there. Gave Thomas a wide open 3-point shot. Fortunate with the miss and coming down with the rebound.
Hunsaker airballs a 3 this time. South Dakota on the run. Cutler takes it all the way, 1 on 3 and scores. 65-60. Hunsaker thought he could tie this thing up with that 3. The air ball sent South Dakota on the break the other way. "30-second timeout. We'll keep this one here. 6:03 to play. Wolverines down by 5, 65-60. Gives us a chance to tell you about Utah Community Credit Union. Utah Community Credit Union, they are a proud sponsor of Wolverine Athletics. They are the official sponsor of the UVU student section, the Mall, the Mighty Athletic Wolverine League. .55% shooting for South Dakota, 44 for UVU. It's a 5-point lead for the number 4 seeded Coyotes from South Dakota over the top seeded Wolverines of Utah Valley. 2 seniors on South Dakota, 3 seniors on Utah Valley. 2 pretty young teams and pretty evenly matched, and 2 pretty doggone good teams as well. 6 minutes even left in this one. Wolverine possession, down by 5. Ben Aird back into the game with those 4 fouls for the Wolverines. Swarbrick has it. Looking inside, gets it to Big Ben. Backing in against Gruis. Jumper, good! Are they going to give it to him? Yeah. Count it. And one. And Gruis picks up his. Is that 4 on Gruis? That's 4 on Gruis. 5:45 to play, 65-62 now.
You know, once again, there's that move that Ben Aird loves, getting the ball on the block, going to the right hand over the left shoulder.
Brings us to immediate timeout. 5:45 to play. Wolverines down by just 3. Back in a minute here on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Come join the student section and cheer for the Mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
Inside the three-point line, and he knocks it down.
"17 lead changes in this semifinal matchup. Fans Wolverine Crossing is student living redefined. For student housing information, text Wolverine to 47464. Back at the UCCU Center, I'm Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. We've seen a whale of a basketball game thus far. 65-62. Wolverines are down by 3 with 5:45 to play. Wolverines shooting 45%. South Dakota cooling off to 55%. You played a good game when you cool off to 55% shooting.
That's been incredible. That's been, to me, the story of the game so far is the 55% shooting. That's unheard of what the Wolverines give up in this gym. So South Dakota doing a great job firing the ball.
Ben misses the free throw. Ben Aird, 16 points, 8 rebounds now. There remains a 3-point lead. South Dakota comes away with the rebound on the miss. Inside layup, good. That one coming from Krogman. 67-62. Wolverines down by 5 with 5:20 left in this basketball game. Geddes Robinson at the top of the key, looking for help. Gives it over to Swarbrick. Inside feed, Ben. Turnaround hook shot. Little jump hook, no good. Rebound comes down to South Dakota's Andriotti. South Dakota, 38 rebounds to UVU's 23. You mentioned in the pregame show one of the keys to victory for either one of these teams was who was going to dominate on the boards. 3-point attempt, no good from Krogman, and UVU comes away with a weak side rebound. Under 5 to play now. Wolverines down by 5. Hunsaker gives over to Deadweiler up top. Left side, Hunsaker, he'll jump a 3. Back rim too hard. Rebound comes down to Andriotti. Big Ben took a swat over his head and dangerously close to picking up a 5th foul.
The Wolverines have to have a stop here, Jim. We've got 4 minutes. South Dakota's going to milk the clock here, get it under 4 minutes, but this is a critical possession defensively for the Wolverines.
And a double dribble called on South Dakota's Jake Thomas. He can't understand that call. Neither can Coach Dave Boots. Dick Hunsaker, Great West Conference Coach of the Year, not saying a word about that one. 67-62, Wolverines down by 5. They'll have possession with 4 minutes and now 12 seconds left in the game.
You know, just as we say, or just as I say, that it's a critical possession. The Wolverines get a turnover that they need, but that turnover isn't going to mean much unless they get a possession.
Swarbrick drives in. Looked like it was going in for the slam, and it was rejected, but a foul's going to get called against South Dakota. Is going to put Swarbrick at the free throw line, shooting 2. That foul's going to go against Andriotti, and that's his 4th. 4:01 on the clock to play. South Dakota 67, UVU 62. George Swarbrick, senior from El Dorado, California, nails the first free throw. For Swarbrick, his first trip to the stripe tonight. Swarbrick is the best free throw shooter on the team and 39th best in the nation. TV viewers getting a look at the replay. Swarbrick makes them both. 67-64 with just under 4 minutes now left. Wolverines down by 3. Cutler gives over to Thomas, working against Swarbrick. And a little hand check foul against Jordan Swarbrick. Wow, they haven't called that all night. It brings us to yet another media timeout. On the floor, 3:43 to play. 67-64. We'll take a 60-second break. Back with the last 3 minutes and 43 seconds of this one on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Situated just 45 minutes south of Salt Lake City, UVU is located at the foot of the scenic Wasatch Mountains in Orem, Utah. Within 20 miles of campus, students enjoy access to year-round outdoor recreation. Utah Valley is also home to a vibrant local arts and music scene. Many students choose UVU for access to a dynamic economy, employment, and career opportunities.
Wolverines are down by 3 with 3:43 to play. Another reminder, fans, about Adidas. They are now the official outfitter of UVU Athletics. To check out Adidas apparel, go to adidas.com. 67-64. Thanks for being with us on the simulcast, whether you're listening on the radio or watching on UVU TV. It's been a heck of a game, hasn't it?
Yeah, incredible game, and it's only going to get better as we have almost 4 minutes left here in the game. It's going to get better.
Prediction from Matt Peterson. South Dakota possession. Cutler has it. Goes into the lane. Ball picked up by Andriotti. Shot, no. Rebound, UVU. Geddes Robinson pulled down his 8th rebound of the night.
Key here for the Wolverines, they don't need to take a crazy shot. Run your play, run your offense, get the best shot that you can.
Hunsaker for 3. Bottom! You gotta be kidding me! We're tied at 67 with 3 minutes left. Wolverines have trailed by as many as 7. Cutler driving in, dishing off, layup, missed. Ball picked up by the Wolverines. Geddes Robinson picked up another one. Wolverines can take the lead with this possession. 2:40 to play. We're tied at 67. We've said it 100 times. How about 101? Winner plays tomorrow night. Loser, their season is over. Geddes Robinson, offensive foul. He was backing into his man and got called for that offensive foul. For Geddes, foul number 2.
Tough call there, Jim. We had a great angle for that. A really tough call. Geddes did make a move. This is the 3-point bucket here from Holton on the last possession, but Wolverines have to fight through it. They're going to have to get another defensive stop here.
67-67 the score. 2:20 to play. South Dakota possession. Krogman has it, working against Isiah Williams. Driving and scoring and one. Nice play by Louis Krogman. And that foul's going to go against Isiah Williams. 69-67. First foul, by the way, against Isiah. Swarbrick checks in. Deadweiler takes a seat. Justin Baker also out of the game. Ben Aird back in. At the free throw line now, Louis Krogman. He's got 12 points. He misses the free throw. 2-point South Dakota lead. 69-67 Wolverines with possession following the missed free throw. Coming up on 2 minutes left in this semifinal Great West Conference tournament game. Aird gives over to Swarbrick, left wing. Out to Hunsaker, he'll jump another three. Back rim too hard, no good. Rebound on the baseline is South Dakota. It'll be Wolverine basketball.
Good play there. Holton realized that Kendall Cutler had fallen down, so after he set a pick for Ben, simply went to the three-point line. Great shot, can't complain about that.
Wolverine possession with 1:48 to play. Isiah shaking and baking, stolen away, turnover. South Dakota coming back the other way. Jake Thomas will slow it up, give it back over to Cutler. 1:40 left in this game. South Dakota nursing a 2-point lead. Cutler working against Hunsaker up top. Pull up, jumper, long one, bouncing around, no good. Ben Aird with a rebound for UVU. 1:20 to play. 69-67, Wolverines down by 2. Hunsaker just 3 of 9 shooting. He'll take it to the hole, layup, good! We're tied at 69. Here they come back the other way. South Dakota on the run, layup, good! From Mitchell Bowie, and he's fouled. Wow, they don't waste any time. Geddes Robinson fouled him, but not before he scored. 71-69. South Dakota by 2, and it's going to put Mitchell Bowie at the free throw line. Third foul, by the way, against Geddes Robinson.
Great play there from Holton getting to the rim, but what really hurt was that he fell down. So South Dakota realized that, inbounded the ball. Nice job and good awareness from Kendall Cutler. Pushed the ball up the court, and an incredible finish there from Michael Bowie.
Free throw. No good. Rebound, UVU. 1 minute to play. UVU down by 2. Hunsaker across the stripe. True freshman Holton Hunsaker gives it over to Swarbrick. Swarbrick, the senior, goes to the right side with 45 seconds left. Ben Aird, baseline drive. He draws the foul. This one's going to go against Andriotti. Ben Aird will be at the line. 43.4 seconds left. Andriotti has fouled out of this game. 5 points for the big man. 4 rebounds. He's been in there battling Ben Aird and Justin Baker, Geddes Robinson all night. Big Ben at the stripe. He's 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Got 16 points overall. Wolverines are down by 2 with 43 seconds left in this game. Place goes dead silent for Big Ben. Free throw. No good. Got another one coming. Deadweiler in for Swarbrick right now. Ben Aird. Second one. Good. 71-70. Wolverines are down by 1. 43.4 to play. Ben Aird will check out of the game. Justin Baker in.
Can I take back a statement I said earlier about
no.
4 minutes being the most critical possession defensively? Well, I didn't know it was going to come to this, but this is obviously the most critical possession. The Wolverines have to team rebound. They cannot give up any type of offensive rebound or second chance here if they can get South Dakota to miss a shot. As we get a Coach Boots calling timeout here.
It's a 30-second timeout. We're not going anywhere. 25.2 seconds to play. 17 seconds on the shot clock. So South Dakota will have to take a shot with at least 8 seconds left on the game clock. South Dakota 71-70, a 1-point lead here in this Great West Conference semifinal in Orem, Utah. The winner will play North Dakota tomorrow night on this floor at 7:30. What a college basketball game this has been for both teams. Both teams have done some great things, and both teams have, made the usual boo-boos in a playoff game. But it's the shooting from South Dakota that continues to impress. 54% from the floor, including 9 of 17 from three-point land. Utah Valley just 5 of 19. Rebounds still in favor of South Dakota, 39-30. My goodness. Thomas has 20 for South Dakota. Isiah has 21 for the Wolverines. But you know what? At halftime, Isiah had 19. Didn't he? 19 at half?
Yeah.
No, he had 17 at half. So he's got 4 in the second half.
You know, let's look at the defense here. Let's see what they're going to try and do. I would imagine that South Dakota is not going to play for a three-point shot. I imagine they're going to try and get, once again, a high ball screen, maybe get Gruis setting a screen, trying to get something going to the basket.
12 seconds on the shot clock, 20 seconds on the game clock. Krogman has it in his hands, working between the circles. Now he starts his drive with 5 seconds. Shot, no good. Rebound comes down to Geddes Robinson. UVU's got it. Across the timeline to Baker. Too hot to handle. Turnover, UVU. It goes to South Dakota. UVU had a chance right there with less than 10 seconds on the run. Isiah tried to hit Justin Baker. Threw it a little too far out in front of him, maybe a little too high. Baker had a hand on it but couldn't control it. Out of bounds. It belongs to South Dakota with 5.6 seconds left. South Dakota with a 1-point lead over Utah Valley. 71-70 the score. Well, we've seen stranger things happen, especially when there's a team from the Dakotas playing. UVU went 4 overtimes with North Dakota at their place. Lost by 4 to South Dakota. But 5.6 seconds to play is an eternity when a team is coached by Great West Conference Coach of the Year, Dick Hunsaker. And let's just say Dave Boots, no slouch himself. Here's that turnover. Baker was open. Either couldn't handle the pass or too hard.
Yeah, tough to see what happens there. You know, obviously Wolverines did a great job of pushing the ball up court, but geez, a little unfortunate there. Kind of a high pass. It's very hard for a big man to catch the ball going that fast when Justin was running as fast and as hard as he was at the free throw line and tried to make a play. Maybe took his eye off the ball a little bit here, but you know, let's see if the Wolverines can force some type of turnover. See if obviously if South Dakota gets the ball in bounds, Wolverines have to foul immediately.
South Dakota will inbounds it from their own or from the UVU baseline. Look for the Wolverines to foul, as you said, immediately. Deadweiler reaches in and fouls Jake Thomas. 4.6 seconds left. That's the 9th team foul, I believe, against UVU. Going to go against Deadweiler. His second. Make it the 10th team foul. So we'll put Jake Thomas at the free throw line. Thomas on the season, 84% free throw shooter. Best on the team. This is who South Dakota wanted at the free throw line. His first trip there tonight, however. He's got 20 points to lead the scoring attack for South Dakota. First one. No good. He missed it. It rattled around and fell off left. So now even if he makes this, it's just a 2-point game. Now the officials want to send the players to their respective benches and say we want to check the clock to make sure the time is correct. 4.6 is what the scoreboard is showing right now, as in seconds. 71-70, South Dakota with a 1-point lead. I'm surprised they would do it between free throws and not before he shot the free throw.
Exactly. That's a little bit, well, not a little bit, it's a lot unfair to Jake Thomas there, because he did shoot that first free throw. If it's any like the last delay that we had when the referees were checking the clock, you know, it's it looks like to me, just from what I can see looking down the aisle here, that they're going to probably put some time back on the clock, but only maybe 0.2 of a second, if anything. But you're right, Jim. Very unfair to be doing this right in the middle of the, free throw shots.
And I'm not so sure that the officials didn't get a little earful from somebody on the sidelines telling them that they should do that. Otherwise, why would you want to do it after the first free throw? But regardless.
And the way I understood the rules is that it's not when the foul occurred, it's when the referee, when the official blows the whistle. So that's going to be very hard to determine, very hard to see how much time they're going to put back on the clock. because how are they going to determine, just from the replays that we saw, how are they going to determine how much time to put back on? Based off of when an official blew a whistle.
Right now it's still showing 4.6. Jake Thomas will be at the free throw line when we get back to live action, regardless of how much time.
They're going to put 5.1 back on the clock, so they did add 0.5 of a second, so a little bit more time for the Wolverines.
Wow. Jake Thomas, sophomore. 20 points tonight. He's missed his only free throw. 5.1 seconds left in this game. Wolverines are down by 1. Free throw. Good. 72-70. Wolverines need a basket to tie. Swarbrick couldn't find anybody to throw it into, so he calls the timeout. Smart play by the senior from El Dorado, California. That's a timeout. We're staying here again. 72-70, South Dakota with a 2-point lead over the Wolverines. That is the last timeout for the Wolverines. 5.1 seconds. Amazing that your season may have just come down to this on your home court as the #1 seed. They need 2 to tie. A 3 would win it.
You know, 5.1 seconds is a lot of time. First key being obviously get the ball in bounds as the Wolverines struggled there. If the Wolverines are going to run a similar play, it looks like they're going to get the ball into the hands of Isiah Williams and let him create some offense, let him take the ball the length of the court. You know, you have 5 seconds. I don't doubt that he has the speed to enable him to get to the rim. So other players have to be aware that there may be a kick out, but there's plenty of time to get to the basket.
Swarbrick will trigger from the baseline. There's nobody fronting him. Gets it into Isiah across the stripe. And he's stepped on the sideline. Turnover, Wolverines. And everybody in the facility who's wearing green thinks he was pushed out of bounds. Turnover, Wolverines with 2 seconds to play. Coach Dick Hunsaker way out on the floor talking to the officials. And South Dakota takes a timeout. Coach Dave Boots wants to talk about it.
We're going to have to see a replay here. I don't know what type of angle we're going to get here, but I don't know if you noticed, Jim, but that shot went in. Isiah's shot,
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it went in. After he stepped out of bounds, after they waved it off, that ball went in the basket.
I was looking at the official. I thought he was calling a foul.
Yeah, I did too, but he definitely called stepping out of bounds, and that ball went in.
You see Coach Dick Hunsaker saying he was pushed out of bounds. And the officials are not coming to look at the replay. 2.1 seconds left in this one. 72-70. And our replays are limited in this game. We usually have just replays from every camera angle, but because we had to provide the officials with replay capability, it cuts down on the replay capability for us. So we can't show you the replay unless the officials go look at it, and they didn't want to look at it. So South Dakota will have it with 2.1 to play. Wolverines need to foul to stop this one. And a foul before they can even throw it in. And it's a good thing because South Dakota had broken a player free. But the foul's going to go against Swarbrick. So no time off the clock. But it will put a South Dakota player at the free throw line with a 2-point lead. Isiah Williams just devastated. All right, here is the replay for our TV viewers. Now we can show it to you.
Oh,
no.
Whoa.
He did not.
Oh, that was a horrible call.
Look, even if you're a South Dakota fan, you gotta agree on that one.
Watch this replay and watch where he points after he shows that he's out of bounds. He doesn't step out there. Doesn't step out of bounds there. Doesn't step out of bounds there. But watch where the referee points to him stepping out of bounds. Oh, whoa, what a missed call.
Wow. Free throws, missed them. Wolverines have it. Swarbrick at the buzzer. No.
Oh, what a horrible call.
He bounced it off the glass. The Wolverines season comes to an end on a terrible missed call by an official that could not, for whatever reason, be reviewed. 72-70, the Wolverines lose to South Dakota. The Wolverines season is over. They are 19-11. Meanwhile, South Dakota goes to 18-14. They will play North Dakota tomorrow night right here on this floor. Wow, 72-70. We are joined by Coach Dick Hunsaker. Coach, I know you've got some comments on this one. A very abrupt ending to a season. Your thoughts, sir? And I don't know if I should tell you this or not. And I don't know if they'll cue up the replay, but he did not step out of bounds.
The referee called it, so he stepped out of bounds.
Okay.
So, you know, it's a tough way to end it. I'd like to thank everybody for all their great support this year. It's been a heck of a season for us. You know, our inexperience showed up a bit. Our lack of respect of the game, how to play it, the toughness required to play at times. But we're a competitive group. We fought back, and we gave it everything we had down the stretch. And congratulations to South Dakota for a great win, and they're the defending champion, and they played that way.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks for stopping by, Coach Dick Hunsaker. A quick interview, and still impressed that he will stop by. 72-70, final score. All right, stat sheet just handed in front of me. I tell you what, though, we're going to take a 60-second break, collect ourselves a little bit here, come back, go over the stat sheet, name our player of the game. South Dakota wins it over UVU, 72-70. Back in 60 seconds here on the Wolverine Sports Network.
If you're serious about going to college and getting a head start on the process, come get a feel for what university life is like. UVU Days are designed with you in mind. UVU Days are department-specific events held on Saturdays that will allow you to become a student for a day. These events are free and breakfast and lunch are served. It's a great opportunity to meet your future dean, professors, and advisors. Highlighted programs include business, science and health, education, humanities, aviation, dance, theater, and emergency service. For more information, dates, and times, please visit our website at www.uvu.edu/future students. Come experience what UVU has to offer in your field of study.
(72-70). South Dakota over Utah Valley in the semifinals of the Great West Conference Tournament. South Dakota lives to play again. They'll play North Dakota tomorrow night, 7:30 tip Utah time, and that game will be broadcast nationwide on Fox College Sports, and Matt Peterson and I will be calling that game for Fox, and it'll be the two Dakotas going at it. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. Let's go over the stat sheet, Matt. I know Matt, during that timeout, folks, was pretty darn.
Well, you know.
All right, go ahead.
Well,
ahead.
I get frustrated, obviously, because you have replay and you make a call that's the most critical call of the season for both of these two teams, and you have replay and you don't use it. And we saw the replay there. It wasn't a good call. It wasn't a correct call, but you know that's the card that the Wolverines are dealt. You know, you can say that it shouldn't have come down to that. That's probably true, but yeah, you know, just a very tough call that unfortunately went against the Wolverines, went in favor of South Dakota, but yeah, a really tough call.
And it's not like the NFL where the head coach can throw a flag and say, "Let's look at that one again."
Right. I mean, it's
the official's decision.
Right. And you know, I'm not trying to place any type of blame. But,
oh yes, you are.
Well,
too late now,
maybe, but it was the incorrect call at the most critical point of the season.
72-70. South Dakota advances. Congratulations to South Dakota. Here's how the scoring went. Jake Thomas had 21 points. Louis Krogman 12. Trevor Gruis. Here it is again.
Do you see him step out? I don't see him step out anywhere. I don't see him step out of bounds, especially where Dwayne points. Look where he points, way back there. He wasn't even close to being out of bounds.
And that shot went in. See, I didn't even watch the ball.
Watch this. It goes in as soon as Isiah shoots it.
This is killing me.
I mean, he's not even close to going out of bounds here, and especially, well, there's his left foot down, there's his right foot down. He's in bounds, he's not out of bounds, and then keep running the tape here. You're going to see where Dwayne points to him stepping out of bounds. He points back by where his left foot was. His left foot was never even there.
Holy cow!
And then the ball goes in.
And the
ball goes in.
Oh my goodness! What a crucial call at a crucial time with 2.1 left.
And you have a replay, and you don't use it.
That would have been a three-pointer. That would have won. Well, that would have put UVU up by 1 with a couple seconds left. That, by the way, drew a crowd around here looking at that replay, and somebody even said, hey, the bottom line, he was also fouled.
Yeah.
He was fouled at the time. All right, let me finish the score sheet for heaven's sakes. Jake Thomas 21, Krugman 12, Gruis 10, Andriotti 5, Cutler 9, Boots 11, Tecker 2, Bowie 2. That's how South Dakota had 72 points. Meanwhile, Utah Valley, in a losing cause, had got 21 points from Isiah Williams, but just 4 points in the second half. Ben Aird a double-double, 17 points, 12 rebounds. Gettys Robinson a double-double, 10 points, 11 rebounds. Swarbrick 4 points. Sean Deadweiler 5 points. Holton Hunsaker 13 points. Woods, Thompson, and Baker all played and did not score. Wolverines outscored from the free throw line by 12 points. It was Wolverines made 15 of 22. Meanwhile, South Dakota made just 3 of 15 free throws. Horrible from the free throw line. Wolverines were out-rebounded 39-32. What else? It was that shooting percentage we talked about. South Dakota shot 59% in the first half, 47% in the second half, 53% for the game. Utah Valley shot 45% for the game. Score was tied 8 times. Lead changed hands 17 times. South Dakota led by as many as 7. UVU's biggest lead was 3 points. What a way for the Wolverines to end their season. They were the #1 seed in here, coming into their conference tournament, played on their own home court at the UCCU Center. And we're supposed to name a UVU Alumni Association Player of the Game. Well, I'm guessing you're not giving it to the official.
Yeah, no. I mean, we had the key players. I think Isiah Williams deserves a lot of credit this game, and you know, scoring 21 points. He played a heck of a game. Did a nice job of getting the Wolverines going to start off with. Unfortunate how that. What if that wouldn't have been called? And obviously that basket went. Very unfortunate break, but we'll give Isiah Williams the player of the game. Player of the game.
Player of the game, yeah. And had that not been called, it would have been the play of the game as well. Wolverines lose it. Their season is over. 72-70, South Dakota with the win. South Dakota 18-14. Wolverines finished their year at 19-11, and it was a good year. The Wolverines started 6-8 and ended up winning 13 of their final 16 games. It was a good season for the Wolverines, and they got 4 out of 5 starters coming back next year. So things are looking up here at Happy Valley. Tomorrow night now, South Dakota plays North Dakota for the conference championship. 7:30 tip time. Are you coming to that?
Yep, I'll be here.
Don't wear green, by the way.
I won't wear green. We have to have the Dakotas come down here to play. It should be a very good game.
Yeah, it will be a good game. And both those teams are pretty doggone good, and we will be unbiased, and we probably won't mention that play at the end of this game more than a half dozen times per half or something like that. Thanks for being with us on this simulcast. Hey, you know what? This game was produced by students from UVU's digital media department. They have done a good job running cameras, running replays. Even that replay we all didn't want to see a million times. It was produced by students from the UVU digital media program. Executive producer Dennis Lisenby and Ryan Johnson. Tonight's game was produced by Ryan Johnson and directed by Jordan Nash. Nice job, guys. This has been a copyright production of Utah Valley University and the Wolverine Sports Network. For Matt Peterson, I'm Jim McCullough saying so long from Orem, Utah.